Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing this morning? Well, if you're in Japan, good morning. And if you're not in Japan, it's either good morning for you as well, maybe. It might be good afternoon or it might be good evening. Thank you for joining my English lesson today, my live English lesson. My name is Shailly, and everyone who's joining me on replay, hello and thank you for joining me as well. We've already got a bunch of people on right now. So XYZ, good morning. How are you doing today? Okay, so it's a nice day here in Tokyo. It's 7 a.m. here. It's early in the morning. And yeah, it's a very nice day. It's a little bit brisk. Yesterday was a super, super hot day. But it's much cooler today, actually. So that is definitely good. YFS, good morning to you as well. I hope you're having a good morning. We have a really good lesson for everyone today. Today, we are going to be jumping in to an advanced grammar lesson, but I'll be teaching it in a way that anybody, even at a beginner or even an intermediate person, can study this and can benefit from today's lesson. If you looked at the lesson description, you can see that today we are going to be studying the difference between even if and even though. That will be the focus of our lesson today, even if and even though. These two words are conjunctions or subordinate conjunctions. Conjunction is a word that can join two sentences. Okay, so one more time. A conjunction is a word that can join two sentences. I think most of you know the most common conjunction is and. So and is a very, very easy and very commonly used conjunction. Today, we will be using the conjunctions even if and even though. So I'll put that word up here on the screen for you. Conjunctions. So that's what we will be studying today. It's a conjunction. And we're going to be joining two sentences using either even if or even though. Now, they are quite different, and let me just put the lesson up onto the screen. Hopefully, this works. Last time I had a bit of problems doing this, but it should be okay. At least fingers crossed, everybody. Oh, no, it's not okay. So 1 second. Everybody, bear with me. Wait right here. I'll be right back while I fix this. Right back. Okay, I am back. I'm back. Now, I'm very sorry for the technical issues here. Let me see if this will work this time. Sometimes my Google Chrome is a little bit fidgety. Sometimes it doesn't like to work with me, and it doesn't let me share my screen. So I need to sort of restart Google Chrome, and then usually it's okay. So I apologize I thought I had already done that, but I guess I needed to do it 2 times today. So if we look, we are at conjunctions. And the title of this lesson is I'll go even if. So even if is the one that we will look at first today. So what does even if mean? So let's make this a little bit bigger for everyone. Even if means whether or not. Whether or not. Okay, so this means that I don't care what the condition is. I am still going to do an action. All right, so if you look at the lesson, if you look at the screen, it says even if stresses that something will happen, whatever the condition is. That means I don't care what the condition is. I'm still going to do some action. The condition has no effect on my action. Now, if we want to make a sentence using even if, we have 2 choices. We can put it at the beginning of the sentence. All right, so we can put it at the beginning as I'm underlining here, or we can put it at the end of the sentence. All right, and I should say not at the end of the sentence, it's going to be in the middle of the sentence. And I have an example right here of a great pattern, even if is in the middle. It's in the middle. Okay, so it's not end, it should be in the middle. This is incorrect. And if we look at this blueprint, we have the common pattern. So A will happen. A will happen. Even if B happens. Even if B happens. So I don't care. I don't care about this action. This action will not change this action. I will still do the first action. So to help you better understand, we've got 2 example sentences. It says, I will help you. I will help you even if I'm busy. So usually if I'm busy, maybe I will not help you. But in this situation, if I'm busy, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I will help you. I will help you. So this I'm busy doesn't change the first action. Now, if you look at the second sentence, I put even if at the beginning of the sentence. I put even if at the beginning of the sentence. So here I start with even if. All right. So even if it takes me all day, it takes me all day, I will finish this book. So that means, so I will finish this book. This action is decided. I will do it. I will definitely do this. It doesn't matter if it takes me all day. Some people, if they have to read a book all day from morning until night, maybe they will stop. They'll give up. It's too long. But in this situation, I don't care. Maybe it takes me 10, 11, 12, 20 hours. That's okay. I will finish the book. So even if is always A will happen. One action will happen, and we don't care about the other action. We don't care about the condition. Now, if you have been studying advanced grammar, then you know that if is often used when we make a conditional sentence. A very simple conditional sentence I could say is, if it rains, I will use an umbrella. So I have the condition, it rains. So when that condition happens, my next action is I will use an umbrella. So even if is acting like a conditional here. It's a type of, it's a conjunction that's acting like a conditional. So when we use even if, we can use all three conditionals. Now, today's lesson is not a conditional lesson. I will do that again at another time. But remember, if it's the first conditional, I've got an example sentence. Even if it rains, I will go for a jog. Second conditional, my verb is past tense. First conditional, my verb is present tense. In the first conditional, I will use will. In the second conditional, I use wouldn't or would. In the third conditional, I use past perfect, and I use would and present perfect. All right, so this is just very complicated conditional grammar, but I just want you to know that even if can be used in all three of these conditional types. So let's look at the sentences now. Let's look at these sentences. Good morning, Dio. I'm glad you could join today's lesson this morning. I'm very, very happy that you're here, and good morning to you. I hope you're having a good morning. So as I said a little bit earlier, today we're going to be looking at even if and even though, kind of advanced grammar. And we've got some example sentences. So let's look at the first example sentence here. We've got the first conditional. Even if it rains, I will go for a jog. I will go for a jog. So this action, I will go for a jog. This will definitely happen. This will definitely happen. Doesn't matter that it rains. So it's raining outside. I don't care. I will still go for a jog. All right, let's look at the conditional number 2. Conditional number 2 says, even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't quit my job. Now, does everybody understand what lottery means? Lottery. What is a lottery? If you do know the answer of what a lottery is, leave it in the comment section. And this sentence is saying, even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't quit my job. All right, so lottery. What's a lottery? Oh, let's put it up on the screen as well. That way everybody can see the word. Okay, lottery. Kaz, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? I hope you are having a great morning. I'm having a really good morning today. I woke up really fresh, so I'm very happy. So we're going over lottery, and I'll give you guys the meaning of lottery. Lottery is a type of game that people will play, and in most situations, a lottery is we will try to guess maybe 5 or 6 or 7 numbers. And during that game, If those numbers are chosen, if it's the same numbers that I chose, you win the jackpot. You win a money prize. X answers as well. A lottery is winning a lot of money. Yes, yes, perfect. So lottery is where you play a game and there is the possibility of winning a lot of money. It's usually a very small possibility, but there is a possibility and you win a lot of money. You know, in the US, someone won $1 billion in the lottery. You know, most cases you will win millions of dollars. Fusa, Ohio, Ohio gozaimasu. I hope you're having a great morning. XYZ, it's what is that? Takarakuji. Takarakuji. Yes, Takarakuji. There we go. Yeah, the S threw me off there. Takarakuji. Yeah, in Japan, lottery is called Takarakuji. Right? So you play the game and you can win some money. I believe sometimes the lottery in Japan is called jumbo, like the jumbo lottery. Now, in my sentence, in this conditional sentence, it says, even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't quit my job. So that means this condition, I won the lottery. So now I have millions and millions of dollars. Maybe if I were in the US, I have $1 billion. But I wouldn't quit my job. That means I will keep working at my job. All right, so winning the lottery, that condition has no effect on my action. I will continue to quit. I will not quit. And the last one, third conditional, it's quite advanced grammar. I'll just go over the sentence quickly. Today, we'll focus mainly on the first conditional. Okay, but the third conditional here, we've got, even if I had known his address, I wouldn't have sent him a card. So that means I didn't know his address. I didn't send him a card, maybe a birthday card. And if I had known, even then, I still wouldn't send him a card. Maybe I don't like that person. Okay, so that's even if. Even if means one condition does not change my action. I will continue to do my action. So next, let's look at even though. Even though is a little bit different. Even though is going to be showing a contrast between two ideas. That means one sentence and the second sentence, they don't match. They don't match. And for me, the easiest way to say this is you'll have one sentence, which is maybe a positive, and then you're going to have another sentence, which is a negative. They don't match each other. Now, even though it can come in the middle or the beginning of the sentence, that is the same as even if. It can come in the middle or at the beginning. So let's look at the example sentence. I failed my test. I failed my test. Now, for me, that's kind of like a negative action. It's not a good action. Even though I studied. I studied. I think studying is a good thing. And in most situations, most people, if you study, you will pass. You will have success. But in this situation, this person studied, but they failed. But they failed. So even though kind of acts like a but, the two sentences don't really match each other. They contrast each other. Let's look at the second example. Even though he earns a lot. He earns a lot. Now, this sentence, earns a lot, is a great sentence. I'm going to put it onto the board here. Earns a lot. This means makes a lot of money. Makes a lot of money. So earns a lot equals makes a lot of money. That means his salary or her salary is very high. So in this situation, even though he earns a lot, so he's making a lot of money, he is always broke. He is always broke. Broke is a great word. Does anybody know what broke means? Does anybody know what broke means? It's a great, great word. And broke is always going to be used with the be verb. So be broke. So I am broke. You are broke. He is broke. So if I said I am broke, what does that mean? What does that mean? I am broke. It doesn't mean broken. It doesn't mean broken. I don't have any broken bones. It has a different meaning. We're talking about money in this situation. So, Dio, run out of something. That's very good. Run out of what, Dio? What do you think we're talking about here? I kind of already gave you the answer, but run out of what? And that's a great, great verb, by the way, Dio. I really like that. Run out. It's a very, very good verb. But in this situation, what are we running out of? Run out of money. Very good. Very excellent. Good job. Yes. So if you don't have any money, and if you have just a little bit of money, not enough, we can say I'm broke. Right? I'm broke. That means I have very little money. Yes, XYZ money. We're talking about money. Very good. So to be broke means that you don't have any money or you have very little money. Now, I liked that. I liked that verb that Dio mentioned. And no, not that one there. Let's fix this. Run out. And if we use this verb, run out of something, it's a really, really good verb. It means we don't have enough of it yet. We don't have enough. It's gone. Everybody used it. Everybody bought it. Sometimes when you go to a restaurant and you order a dish, the waiter or the waitress might say, I'm sorry, we have run out of it. That means everybody bought it, so we don't have any more. That's a great, great phrasal verb, Dale. Thank you for sharing that. YFS, you have an answer. Is it slang? Yes. To be broke, originally, it was slang, but it's very, very common now, YFS. So I would not consider it slang now. When we originally started using this word years and years and years ago, yes, it was slang. But it's so common now that it's a part of everyday English. So I don't consider it to be slang now, but yes, the originally, it was slang. So good question, YFS. All right, so if we look at that, so this person earns a lot of money, but he's always broke. For me, earn a lot of money, that's a very good thing, positive thing. Always broke is a negative thing. It's not a good thing. So they don't match each other. Usually, if you make a lot of money, if your salary is high, then you have money. But in this situation, this person is broke. So they don't match. All right. So just to quickly review, even if means the condition after if. So whatever the condition is, it doesn't affect my action. I will still do it. And even though we have two actions that contrast each other, a positive and a negative sentence, so they don't match each other. All right, so they're a little bit confusing, but very useful that you understand how to use them. So the best way to understand how to use them is actually try making some sentences. So that's what we'll do in the first exercise here. In the first exercise, I'd like you to choose, will you complete the sentence using even if or even though? So you have to choose even if or even though. So number 1 says, she passed the test. And we've got a blank space. She didn't study. She passed the test. She didn't study. In this situation, will you be using even if or will you be using even though? And you can leave your answers in the comment section. Will you be choosing even if or even though? Everybody who is watching this on the replay as well, make sure that you are speaking your answers out, typing your answers in the comment section as well. And remember, if you're watching on the replay and you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that now. Subscribe, give me a like, and all the notification bells, all that kind of stuff as well. So, all right, we've already got some answers here. XYZ, even though. Yo, even though. YFS, even though. Yes, perfect, perfect. Yeah, these two sentences don't really match. She passed the test. She didn't study. Usually, if you don't study, you fail. But in this, she passed. So we have to join these two sentences and show that there is a contrast. So we will be using even though. Correct answer, even though. Perfect. All right, let's keep moving. Number 2, something I lived far away from my office. I would walk to work. I would walk to work. Will you choose even if or even though? So something I lived far away from my office. So the distance is very far. I would walk to work. All right, yo, even if. Excellent. XYZ, even if. Excellent. So in this situation, basically this says, I live far away from the office. If that happened, if I lived very far away from my office, I don't care. I will still walk to my office. I'll still walk to work. I love walking. I love exercise. So the distance doesn't matter. YFS, even if, very good. Now, let me give you a little hint. Let me give you a little trick. Now, this is only for people who are worried about taking grammar tests. If you are going to be taking a TOEIC test, a TOEFL test, or an IELTS test, any type of English proficiency exam, any test where you are getting tested on grammar, whenever you see written English, you should be looking at the key words. And here, the key words are always verbs. So for me, I see the word would. I see the word would. And in this situation, would is often used in a if sentence. Would is often used in an if sentence. So in an if sentence, I am going to be using words like will and would. These are very common. I might be using words like might and may or should. These are all part of conditional sentences. So if you see that word, it gives you a big hint. Oh, this must be a conditional sentence. So, oh, it's even if. Look at the first sentence. There was no would, there's no will. So I know I'm not using a conditional here. So whenever you're taking those written tests, you have to look at it, for me, like mathematics. Look at the key words. So if it's a conditional, I must have words like will, would, could, should. These all go with conditionals. And if you don't see that, it's not a conditional. So I gave you a big hint. Number 3, something you don't like yogurt, you should eat it because it's healthy. Something you don't like yogurt, you should eat it because it's healthy. Will you use even if, or will you use even though? Something you don't like yogurt, you should eat it because it's healthy. There's a key word here. Even if or even though. And I'll put my answer up soon as well. All right, YFS answers even if. Very good. So even if you don't like yogurt, you should eat it because it's healthy. Right? So even if you don't like yogurt, you should eat it because it's healthy. Even if. Very good. XYZ, even if, question mark. Yes, it's even if. So that means if you don't like yogurt, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you don't like it. You should eat it because it's healthy. So the key word here is should. Should is often used in a conditional sentence. Now, this first part, we're just looking at written sentences. So it'll be a little bit easier. After this, you will be making sentences. So we can't use these tricks. The spoken English will be a little bit different. You have to use your own thinking, your own original sentences. Number 4, I will go to work. I am sick. I will go to work. I am sick. Will you choose even if or even though? And there is a key verb that is in this sentence. XYZ, even though. Even though. All right. Even though this sentence is it's a unique one. It's a lucky one because technically both of these will work. I could put even though here, or I could put even if. For me, I probably will choose even if. And the reason I choose even if is because I've got this verb will. It's often used in conditional sentences. I'll go to work even if I'm sick. Now, even though it also works. Okay. Even though with a question mark. Yeah, even though works. Cause, even though, perfect. All of those work. Now, the difference. What's the difference in the meaning of these? The difference is, even if we're talking about a condition, if that condition happens, right now, I am not sick. But if that happens, if I become sick in the future, I will go to work. I don't care. I don't care that I am sick. Even though we're talking about now. So it means now I am sick. I am sick, but I will go to work. Maybe I have a big project. Maybe I have a presentation. Maybe today is a very important day at work. So now I am sick. I'm sick right now, but I'll go to work. Even if means the future. If I become sick, if that happens in the future, then I will go to work. I don't care. I'll go to work. So both of these are correct, but the meaning is different. So that's where even though and even if becomes difficult, because they both are correct, but the meaning is different. Even though means I am sick now, but I'll go to work. Even if means if I become sick, I'm not sick now, but if it happens, it doesn't matter. I will still go to work. Okay, so a little bit confusing, but I think just try to think about the verb tense. One is the future, one is right now. Okay, let's look at number 5. Something we leave right now, we won't make it in time for the movie. We won't make it in time for the movie. And remember, if you guys have any questions, you can always ask me at any time. And even XYZ has a comment here. So the will can be condition. So telling a boss or coworker before a big meeting, I can say to them, I will come to work even if I'm sick. That is perfect. That is perfect. All right. So in that situation, I'm not sick right now, but we're thinking about the future. If that happens. So a conditional sentence, remember, this means that the condition has not happened yet. If that happens, then I have another action. All right, so number 5, Dio has answered even if. Even if we leave right now, we won't make it in time for the movie. YFS, even if. XYZ, even if. Perfect, that is correct. That means that if we leave right now, we're going to leave the house right now, or maybe leave the restaurant right now. It doesn't matter. We will not make it in time for the movie. What does that mean? Not make it in time. Can anybody explain that? Won't make it in time. What does that mean? So if you won't make it in time, What does that mean? I think all of you understand what it means. A great way to improve English is explaining what vocabulary words mean. So won't make it in time. All right, XYZ, we will still be late. Very good. Very good. So, won't make it in time. So it's negative. It means you'll be late. That is correct. You'll be late. Now, if I say make it in time, that means I will not be late. I will be on time. So in this situation, yes, the sentence means I can leave right now. Even if I leave right now, I'll be late. Okay. All right, number six. Dio, I cannot arrive before movie starts. Perfect. I cannot arrive before the movie starts. Excellent, Dio. Yes, that is being late. It's not making it in time. Very good. Good answer. All right, number 6. We got 2 more of these exercises. And the next, it's going to be the more difficult active part where you must make sentences. Number 6 says, she smiled, she felt sad. She smiled, she felt sad. Please choose even if or even though for number 6. And we have an answer, even though. YFS answers even though. XYZ says even though. Perfect. So even she smiled, even though she felt sad. All right, Dio, even though. Perfect. So she smiled, but she's sad. So it's kind of a positive and a negative, contrasting actions. Excellent. Very good. Number 7. Let's look at number 7 now. I'll help you move. I am busy. I'll help you move. I am busy. Will you choose even if or even though? I'll help you move something. I am busy. All right, we've got some answers here. All right, we've got even if from Dio. Perfect. XYZ, even if. Perfect. YFS, even though. Also perfect. In this situation, both are possible. Both are possible. So just like the last example, we can use both in this situation. So we can use even though, or even if. Now again, I'll help you even though I'm busy. That means right now. All right, so XYZ can be both like last time. Yes, perfectly correct, XYZ. Yes, it can be the same. So even though means right now I'm busy. Oh, I'm so busy. But I'll help you move. And even if means in the future. Maybe I know you are going to move. So don't worry. Even if I'm busy, if that condition happens, if I become busy, don't worry. I'll help you move. So one is a future sentence. One is going to be right now. Right now I'm busy. That's okay. I'll help you. But if I become busy in the future, don't worry. I will still help you. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Both answers are correct. What does this mean? Help you move. Help you move. Does anybody know what that means? So to move, to move has many meanings. Move just means like you're moving, your body is moving. But move can have a different meaning. In this sentence, it has a different meaning. It doesn't mean you will help me move my body. What does it mean to move? And remember, anybody who's watching on the replay as well, you can always answer any of my questions in the comment section. I always check them. That's one of the things I always want to do is if you leave a comment, a question, an answer, if you leave homework, I will always answer you. So we've got, Dio says, change the place you live. Change the place you live. Perfect. YFS, hikoshi in Japanese, but I can't explain. Yes, in Japanese, to move means hikoshi. And Dio says that you change the place you live. So if you change, I live in one house and then I go to another house, that's called moving. So move into different location to live. Yes, perfect XYZ. Now it's really interesting. Let's look at cultural differences here when we talk about move. One thing I noticed, I'm from Canada. I used to live in the US. I live in Japan now. And one of the sort of bigger cultural differences I've noticed about moving in Canada and America, a lot of people, when they move, they do it themselves. They will rent a big truck and they will put all of their things, their furniture, their clothes into the truck. And then they move to the new home, the new house, the new apartment. And most times in Canada and America, you will always ask your friends to help you. And I don't know why, but most times, I would say like 90% of the times, the friends will say yes. They'll help you move. And it's usually very common after you finish moving at the end of the day, the person, who has asked, the host, the person who's requested it, they'll buy dinner. But because everybody's really tired, it's usually pizza, beers you can eat at the new house. So we like to do things ourselves. It's kind of like DIY, do it yourself. But living in Japan, I've noticed that if you're moving, you hire a company. You hire a company, the company comes, they'll pack everything up, and they'll move it to your new house. And I've experienced both. And let me tell you, hiring a company is way, way better. It's way easier. Doing it yourself is a lot of hard work. So if you ever move to Canada or America and you're going to move, most times people will do it themselves. All right, so just a little bit of cultural information there for you. All right, next, let's go and let's make some sentences now. We're not going to choose even if or even though. In the first exercise of our speaking, I'm going to make it easy for you, and you're going to choose only even if. You're going to choose only even if. You're going to make a sentence using even if. Now remember, even if can come at the beginning of the sentence or the middle. And a lot of times we're going to be using words like will or would. That's first conditional and second conditional. Now I'll give you some information. For example, I've got jog and rain. So using these two words or these two ideas, I'll make a sentence. I'll go for a jog even if it rains. That means I don't care about the rain. I will still go for a jog. YFS has a question. What about big furnitures, fridge, etc.? Yeah, we move everything. The big furniture, you get all the guys will get together and we'll lift it. And yeah, we do it somehow. I don't know how, but we lift the fridges, the sofas, the cabinets, the dining tables. The guys will always do it. We'll lift it up. We'll get it into the big trucks. Do they have moving services? Yes, there are moving services in US and Canada. But for some reason, people like to do it themselves. I'm not sure why. We have, maybe it's because we have big trucks that are available to rent. There is a company in the US called U-Haul. It means you haul things, you move things, and it's really cheap. The last time when I was living in the US, it was like $20 to rent a big truck for one day, like one complete 24 hours. It's $20. That's super cheap. So yeah, but they do have moving services, YFS. Okay, so again, now let's look at our even if sentences. We're going to be doing number 1 to begin. We've got the idea: study all night, fail my test tomorrow. Please join these two ideas using even if. You don't have to use the same words if you don't want to. If you want to use the same words, you can, but join these two phrases, these two ideas using even if. XYZ has an answer. I will fail the test tomorrow, even if I study all night. Excellent, excellent. Be careful of your spelling of tomorrow. There's only one O. YFS, even if I study all night, I'll fail the test tomorrow. Perfect. This means that this test is going to be very difficult. Or maybe there's so much to remember that maybe in one night it's not enough time. If that condition, I'll study all night. Even if I study, if that condition happens, the result, the action will not change. I will fail. Even if I study all night, I'll fail the test tomorrow. Perfect. XYZ, yeah, tomorrow. Very good. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 says, save money for a year, can't buy a new car. Save money for a year, can't buy a new car. And remember, you can change the words if you want to. These are just your ideas. Save money for 1 year, can't buy a new car. What is your answer for this? And everybody watching on the replay, make sure you put all your answers in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe as well. So save money for a year. Save money means that you're not going to spend the money. You're going to keep it. You keep adding it in the bank and your money is going to grow. So I'll do that for 1 year. Can't buy a new car. All right, Dio has the answer. Even if I save money for 1 year, I can't buy a new car. Perfect. Maybe basically this means even 1 year of saving, even if that condition, if I do that, I can't buy a new car. Maybe my salary is too low. Maybe I don't earn enough money. XYZ. Even if I save money for a year, I can't buy a new car. All right, for both Dio and XYZ, perfect answers. I have a challenge for both of you and for everybody else as well who's joining me. Both of your answers said, even if I save money for a year, I can't buy a new car. how can we change this verb? Let's make the same sentence, same meaning, but do not use can't. Same sentence, same meaning. Please use a different verb instead of can't. How would we do that? What's another way to say can or can't? So save money for a year, can't buy a new car. Your guys' answers were perfect. Even if I save money for a year, I can't buy a new car. Now I want you to change can't. Let's say it in a different way. Now I'm going to put my answer here as well. Okay, we've got some answers here. XYZ, even if I save money for 1 year, I won't be able to buy a new car. Excellent. Even if I save money for a year, I am not able to buy a new car. Also, excellent. And YFS, I won't be able to buy a new car even if I save money for a year. Very good job, YFS. That was kind of like my answer. Even if I save money for a year, I won't be able to buy a new car. 1 year, we can change to a year. And won't be able to, or am not able to. These are a little bit more polite ways, a little bit more advanced grammar to make the same sentence. All right, so can is a perfectly fine. That's a great word. If I want to speak a little bit maybe more business-like English, more formal English, then we can say be able to, and won't be able to, or I am able to. Perfect. Okay, let's move to number 3. Number 3 is a little bit more difficult. In number 1 and number 2, I'm giving you the verbs. I gave you study and fail. I gave you save and can't buy. Number 3, there are no verbs here. There are no verbs. Please choose the verbs that you will use to make the sentence also. This is even if. I want you to use even if to make a sentence where we've got Brad Pitt, famous Hollywood actor, no autograph. So YFS, you have since polite, so better to use it in business. Yes. If you use I'm able to, be able to, will be able to, it's much better to use it in business. Yeah, I'll be able to. I got your question, XYZ, so don't worry. Yes, be able to is very polite. I would use it in more formal situations, definitely in business. We got Brad Pitt, no autograph. Let's join these two ideas with the conjunction even if. You are very welcome, XYZ. You're very, very welcome. All right, so Brad Pitt and no autograph. What is your sentence for this? Brad Pitt, no autograph. Obviously Brad Pitt is a famous Hollywood actor. I like Brad Pitt. I think he's a great actor. I love his movies. What about you? Who do you guys like? If you guys watch movies, what actor, actress do you guys like? All right, so XYZ says, even if I met Brad Pitt, I won't be able to get his autograph. All right, grammar is good. Grammar is very good. A YFS says, even if I saw Brad Pitt, I won't get his autograph. I won't get his autograph because I'm in shock. Excellent, excellent. In this situation in YFS, make sure all of your verbs are matching. So even if I saw Brad Pitt, I won't get his autograph because I will be in shock. I will be in shock. We have to continue to keep everything in the future. Even if I saw Brad Pitt, I won't get his autograph because I will be in shock. Now, XYZ, you said even if I met Brad Pitt, I won't be able to get his autograph. That's also good. Now, there are different. If you meet someone and then if you see someone, they are different. Dio also said, even if I meet Brad Pitt, I will not be able to get his autograph. Excellent. Also very good. Now, as I said, meet and see, they are very different. Meet, see, they're different. They're not the same meaning, right? So meet versus see. Meet means I am actually going to talk with the person. Hello, how are you, Brad? Nice to meet you. Right? That's the meeting. See is you're only seeing him. You're only seeing the person. So maybe I'm in a restaurant, like, oh, look, oh, there's Brad Pitt. So I see him. I don't talk with him. And a lot of people, if they see a celebrity, their first reaction is they want to go up to the celebrity and say, hey, can I get your autograph? Can I get your autograph? But in this situation, as a lot of you said, even if I meet Brad Pitt, even if I see Brad Pitt, YFS says, I will not get his autograph. Now, let me, one more time. Actually, I'm going to go back to YFS's answer. I just caught it at the corner of my eye here. YFS, your answer was, even if I saw Brad Pitt, I won't get his autograph because I'm in shock. Now, in conversation, this sentence is fine. I completely understand it. And 90% of native English speakers will make a sentence like this. Now, if you are going to take a grammar test, if you're going to take a grammar test, this sentence is incorrect. Now, it's incorrect because, and I'm going to put your answer on the board here, YFS. So even if I saw, I'm going to say Brad Pitt, just BP, I won't get his autograph. I'm just going to put that part of the sentence here. Now, the key thing here is you are using past tense. My verb is past tense. That means next verb here, I must be using wouldn't. Wouldn't. So the correct thing here is I should be saying wouldn't get his autograph. So if you are doing a grammar test, if plus the past tense, next is always going to be would or wouldn't, could, couldn't. Does that make sense, YFS? All right, so we don't want to use future or will or won't in that situation because you use past tense. XYZ has a question. So in this situation, C is better verb to use because I have no connection with Brad Pitt. I would probably say C. I think the chance of me meeting Brad Pitt is very, very, very low. So maybe C. That's probably more common for most of us. Maybe we just see the person and we try to get the autograph, but a meet is possible. You know, if you are in Los Angeles, maybe your friend's friend knows Brad Pitt, so they introduce you. Yeah, it's unlikely. So I probably would use C in this situation. If you see a celebrity, so, and for me, even if I see a celebrity, I will not get their autograph. And that is true for me. I'm not an autograph person. In fact, I don't like to bother celebrities if they're out and about doing their thing. You know, I think it's cool that I get to see them, but usually I leave it at that. I don't get their autograph. YFS, you're very welcome. Okay, let's do a couple more with even if, and then let's move to even though. So I'm going to move this out of the way. That way everybody can focus on the next one, which is, so we're going to go to there. Influenza and job. Influenza and job. How do we join those two ideas using even if? So join them using even if. Influenza and job. Now in US and in Canada, most times we don't say influenza. You know, we're going to be saying, so influenza, instead of influenza, it's a very long word. We just say the flu. The flu. And again, you don't have to use the same words. You can change the words. These are just your ideas. So influenza and job. And I, unfortunately, got the flu about a month ago. It was not fun. All right, so let's join these two ideas, influenza, job, using even if. And I think the sentence that most people are going to make, it's actually very common in Canada and America, which is not very good. Dio has an answer here. I'll go to the job even if I get the flu. Yes, you get the flu. You get the flu. Perfect. XYZ says, even if I have influenza, okay, no there's no in this situation. Influenza is uncountable. It's not countable, so we can't put So even if I have influenza, I will go to work. I'll go to work. Yeah, this is better. Instead of job, so you said job, that's fine. Work is better. So you go to work. YFS, even if I got a flu, the flu, even if I got the flu, I would go to work. YFS, excellent. Very, very good. You went past and would. You went past and would. So that tells me you understood my explanation. Yes. So this is perfect. All three of you. Very, very good. That means I don't care if I get the flu, if I got the flu. I will still go to work. The condition of getting the flu or having the flu doesn't change my action. I will still go. And this is really common actually in the US. People will go to work even if they have the flu, which is not really good because you're going to get everyone sick. YFS, big three, big thumbs up. Yes, yes. Dio. Let's see. My computer is acting all funny. Okay, I can't put your answer up. I'm not sure why, but Dio said, I'll go to work even if I get the flu. Perfect. That is perfect, actually. Perfect answer. Okay, let me fix this. I'm going to work on that. I'll fix it in a second here. But Dio, your answer is perfect. There we go. I got it on the screen. I'll go to work even if I get the flu. Perfect. Okay. Okay, one more with even if, and then let's move to even though. One more with even if, and then let's move to even though. The last situation we are going to be looking at is bad weather, and beach. Bad weather and beach. Remember, we're going to join it with even if. And in this one, I suggest please use different words. These are just your ideas. It's the theme. It's the theme of the sentence. You've got bad weather. You've got beach. One condition will happen, but I don't care. The other action will still happen. Bad weather and beach. All right, what are your answers for this? Bad weather and beach. And I actually used to live right by the beach. I used to live right by the beach in Los Angeles, and I used to live right by the beach in a different place in Japan. And the sentence that everyone is going to make here, I have done this. I have done this. XYZ, your answer. Even if it rains, I will go to the beach. Perfect. Perfect answer. And that's true. This is true for me. I have done this. It's raining. I don't care. I'll go to the beach. Dio, you have a question. Do you put the work or without the is correct? Without the. You go to work. Work here is going to be the actual location. It's the building. It's the office. So in this situation, we don't put the in the sentence. Very good question, Dio. So I will go to work. No the. Very, very, very good question. Yeah, this is work is a strange one because generally work is a verb. So I will work tomorrow. I'm going to work on my paper. It's a verb. But in this situation, if you go to work, work means the actual location, and there's no the. Good question. So we've got YFS. I will go to the beach even if it snows. Even if it snows. Perfect. Perfect. So you use different weather. And YFS, I have done this too. I have gone to the beach even if it snows. I did it on New Year's Day when I used to live in a different area of Japan. I used to live in an area called Shonan, and it was snowing, and I went to the beach to see the first sunrise. Adio, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad you understand. You are very, very welcome. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on, and let's make sentences using even though. Now, I do have more situations here. There's a couple more. And so if you'd like to do these for homework, you can put them in the comment section and I'll check them. We've got lottery and job. We've got full and dessert. But do that for homework. Leave them in the comment section and I'll check your answers. But let's move on to even though. So same thing. I will give you two ideas and you have to join them. Now, just a quick review. even though is going to show the contrast, plus and minus. Plus and minus. So the example sentence, even though I studied, I failed. They don't match. I studied, but I failed. So even though it's like a but. And before we do the first one, Dio has an answer. Even if it's typhoon, I will have to go to work. Almost perfect here, Dio. Almost perfect. In this situation, it and typhoon, we need to have a verb. We need to have a verb here. So I would say, even if there is a typhoon, I will have to go to work. Okay, and I've put it into the comments section there so everybody can see. Even if there is a typhoon, I will have to go to work. Really? Your boss is very strict, Dio. You have to go. That's a little dangerous. So please be careful if that happens to you. I believe typhoon season is coming to Japan. Or is it? No, I think it's gone. Typhoon season is gone. So you don't have to worry about that. But wow, your boss is very, very strict. But yeah, typhoon, there is a typhoon. All right, good sentence, Dale. All right, now, even though, first, number one, we've got exercise, we've got lose weight. And I've given you the verbs. The verbs are exercise and lose. How do we join these sentences? Using even though. XYZ, even though I exercise, I don't, not loose, only one O, lose weight. I know it was probably just a typo, XYZ. So no worries. Even though I exercise, I don't lose weight. Yes, perfect. Even though I exercise, I don't lose weight. That's a good answer. We could use a different verb, not don't. We could use another verb like can't. Even though I exercise, I can't lose weight. Yeah, that doesn't match. Usually you exercise, you lose weight. But in this situation, this person, they don't lose weight. My computer, sorry. Don't worry. I can tell when it's just a typo. So don't worry. YFS, even though I exercise, I gain weight. Okay, you went opposite. Excellent. Very, very good. And I'm glad you did that, YFS, right? That now increases our vocabulary, right? So now we know lose weight. The opposite of lose weight is gain weight, right? So the opposite of lose weight is gain weight. Lose weight, weight is reducing, and gain weight, the weight is going higher. Do I have a reflection? Yeah, I do have a bit of a reflection. I'm very sorry for this reflection. My curtains are all open. Okay, very good answer, YFS. So adding gain weight in there. Perfect. Let's move to number two. Number two. Eat healthy, high cholesterol. Eat healthy, high cholesterol. Now, in this one, it's a little bit more difficult. I've given you one verb, eat, but in this situation over here, there's no verb. There's no verb. Even though I exercise, it is hard to lose my weight. Really, really good. I like you put in it is hard. I would remove the my. In this situation, we can just say lose weight. My is, it's okay. Grammatically, it's fine. But the weight is going to be your weight. It's logical. It's understood. In Japanese, you'd say it's kind of like atarimai. So we don't need to put the mai in that situation. If you put it, it's fine. Grammatically, it's completely fine. Most native speakers will not put my weight. We'll just say, even though I exercise, it is hard to lose weight. But yeah, that's really good. It's hard. I like that. It's hard means it's difficult. Excellent. Another new vocabulary word. All right. What about number 2? Eat healthy, high cholesterol. There's no verb for high cholesterol, so you have to choose. All right. Perfect, Dale. Good job. Good job. All right. Eat healthy, high cholesterol. XYZ says, even though I eat healthy, I am in high cholesterol. All right. I understand what you're trying to say. And I think if you're in Canada, most people will understand you. But with cholesterol, we don't use be verb. We don't use the be verb. So it must be a different verb. And before I give the answer, I'll give everybody else a chance to make a sentence. Let's see if I can move. No, it's Dio says, even if I eat healthy, I get high cholesterol. Yes, so get is correct. Let's use even though. Let's use even though in this situation. And I know you just made a typo. So even though I eat healthy, I get high cholesterol. Perfect. XYZ, have. Have is probably the best word we use for cholesterol. All right. Even though I eat healthy, I have high cholesterol. Even though I eat healthy, I have high cholesterol. So they don't match. Usually people who eat healthy, they don't have high cholesterol. They have low cholesterol. I am not healthy, even though I eat healthy. Perfect. You used the ideas, you used the theme, and you made your own unique sentence. Excellent, YFS. I am not healthy, even though I eat healthy. Yeah, that doesn't match, right? If you eat healthy, you should be healthy, but in this situation, you're not. Perfect sentence. All right, number 3 becomes a little bit more difficult. All right, there's no verbs at all. I've got Saturday and I've got at work. I've got Saturday and I've got at work. What is your answer here? We're going to join it with even though. Saturday at work. Well, if you're in Japan right now, you can say today is Saturday. Then we've got at work. And anybody watching at home, at the replay, you can always, again, I feel like a broken record saying it a lot, but I always like to encourage people to comment. It's a really good way to practice your English. The more you're writing, the more you're speaking, the much faster you improve. All right, so we've got an answer here from XYZ. Even though it is Saturday, I need to be at work. Perfect, perfect. That means it's necessary for you to be at work, even though it's Saturday. Saturday is a holiday. It doesn't match the being at work. Even though it is Saturday, I go to work. Okay, good. This means routine. This means YFS. If you say I go to work, this means every Saturday you go to work. If it's not every Saturday, maybe it's only this Saturday or next Saturday, it's one time, then we have to put I have to go to work. I will go to work. I need to go to work. that changes the nuance. It doesn't mean every time. So I go to work means every Saturday. Yeah, so even though it's Saturday, I have to go to work. I need to go to work. I go to work. All right, excellent. Very good answers. Now, next one, again, let's look at number 4. We're going to do 2 more, and then we'll call it a day. Number 4, we've got, actually, let's go back because the duo has an answer for number 3. Even though it is Saturday, I have to check the system at the office. Wow. Wow. Perfect. 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 That is a great sentence to do. You changed the idea. At work was just the idea. It was the theme. So you made your original sentence. And you said you have to check the system at the office, even though it is Saturday. Yes. Perfect. Hideo, are you a systems engineer? Are you a systems engineer? It sounds like it from that sentence. XYZ, I like commenting your comment section. You replied very detailed explanation. So I read other people's comments because of your explanation. Thank you so much, XYZ. You're great. Thank you so much. You're so nice. You're so kind. Thank you for those nice words. Yeah, and I'm happy that you comment. You're always really active, and definitely keep it up. And yeah, read everybody's questions because we can always learn from each other. So, and that's another benefit. XYZ, that's a really good, important point. When you're commenting and when I'm answering you and we're talking about something, other people are also learning from that. So don't be shy because you are helping others by commenting. All right, number 4, XYZ, you're going to have me blushing here. All right, number 4, we've got winter and we've got hot. We've got hot. And I've given a little bit of extra information here. For the second part of the sentence, for hot, I want you to use the subject I. Your subject will be I. So we've got winter and hot. Winter and hot. And we'll join them using even though. And for anyone who's on the northern hemisphere, like I am, I'm in Japan. Yeah, winter is coming. Winter is coming. If you're on the southern hemisphere, I'm jealous because the southern hemisphere, I'm jealous because your summer is coming. Maybe it's time I visit the southern hemisphere. Maybe I could go to Brazil or Australia. All right, winter and hot. We've got an answer from XYZ. Even though it's winter, I'm hot. Yes. This is a kind of an easy one. Even though it's winter, I'm hot. Perfect. YFS, even though it's summer, I'm hot. Maybe you wanted to say winter, I think, here. Even though it's winter, I'm hot, because hot and winter don't match. Summer and hot match. So yeah, I think it's just a typo. I believe it's a typo. I've read most of your answers, YFS, and usually you're pretty good. So I think that's just a typo. Even though it's winter, I'm hot. Even though it's winter, I feel hot. Okay, perfect. Perfect answers. I made a mistake. I deleted, but you caught it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm quick on hitting your guys' comments. But don't worry. I knew it was a mistake. I knew it was just a typo. So do not worry. All right. We have one more. But as you can see, there is a 6 and 7, and you can do that for homework. Dio, your answer, even though it is winter, I feel hot. Yes. You got winter. I know it's a typo, so do not worry. I feel like that sometimes, especially living in Tokyo. If I ride the train, it's always super hot. So even though it's winter, I feel hot on the train. I'm hot even though it's winter. Perfect, perfect, YFS. You corrected your typo. Last one. We've got 8 hours tired. 8 hours and tired. How will we join those two sentences? Not sentences, sorry. How will we join those two ideas? 8 hours tired. Please use even though to join those sentences. All right, 8 hours and tired. Make sure you choose a good verb to go with these ideas. You can, again, change the sentences, use whatever original idea you have, but make sure it is under the ideas of 8 hours and tired. And I encourage you, maybe you can use a more difficult vocabulary word. What's a better word than tired? What's a different word than tired? Let's try to expand our vocabulary. All right, so you've got, even though I practice basketball for 8 hours, I won't get tired. Even though I practice basketball for 8 hours, I won't get tired. That is perfect. That's a perfect sentence. But wow, 8 hours, you practice 8 hours and you won't get tired. That's amazing. That's amazing. Do you practice? Do you play basketball? I do. I coach basketball as well. So, but definitely, if I coach basketball for 8 hours, I will get tired. Perfect answer, And if you play basketball, if you like basketball, if you watch basketball, let me know who your favorite team is in the comment section. If you don't watch basketball, that's fine. And your favorite team could be a B League team. It could be a European team. It could be an NBA team. All right, so we got one good sentence. Yes, you do. Perfect. Let's look at X, Y, Z here. Something's wrong with the system. I keep going in and out. I'm very sorry for that. I don't know why. I think my Wi-Fi is really slow today. XYZ says, even though I drive for 8 hours, I am not get exhausted. Almost perfect here. Almost perfect, XYZ. Even though I drive for 8 hours, I don't get exhausted. I don't get exhausted. And I like that you use the word exhausted. As I said, what's a different word for tired? Yeah, exhausted. Exhausted means very, very tired. So even though I drive for 8 hours, I don't get exhausted. I don't get exhausted. Very good, XYZ. Just change the verb to don't. And XYZ, can you drive for 8 hours? Are you a good driver? Do you like driving long distances? I'm from Canada. Our country is so big that we have to learn to drive very long distances. From my mom's house to my oldest sister's house, it's like a 11-hour drive. YFS, even though I am in Disneyland with my friends for 8 hours, we are still high. All right. I understand your sentence. But you have to be very, very careful here. Even though I'm in Disneyland with my friends, I would change the grammar here a little bit. In this situation, YFS, I would say, even though I have been in Disneyland, for 8 hours, even though I have been in Disneyland with my friends for 8 hours, we are still high. Okay, high. We don't say this usually. High has a different meaning in English. We have a slang meaning for high. If you say I'm high, that means you have been doing drugs. So you've done a lot of drugs, and so now you're high. So I would say in this situation, we are still excited. We're still energetic. That would be a better sentence. So even though I'm in Disneyland, or even though I have been in Disneyland for 8 hours, let me put it in the comment section for you. Even though I have been in Disneyland with my friends for 8 hours, we are still, oh, okay, you put a different word. I'm going to put that in for you. Energetic, excited. Okay. All right. So, yes, YFS, you introduced the word hyper. Yes, it is a word. It is a word. It's a good word. Yes, you could definitely use the word hyper. Even though I have been in Disneyland with my friends for 8 hours, we are still hyper. We are still energetic. We're still excited. All of those are good. I knew what you meant. I know in Japan, a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm high." And for an American person or a Canadian person hearing that, it has a different meaning. So you have to be very careful. All right, good. Okay, Dio, your answer here. My favorite team in the NBA is the Phoenix Suns, and the WNBA is the Las Vegas Aces, which they won a championship. Yes, the Las Vegas won back-to-back championships. Becky Hammon as their coach. It's amazing. It's amazing. Great for them. Las Vegas, what a city. They're winning a lot of sports championships right now. And your favorite team in the NBA is Phoenix Suns. Oh no, Dio. Oh no. Not the Lakers. Not the Lakers. I'm a huge Laker fan. But I can understand why you like Phoenix. They look very strong this year, Dio. And judging by your name, I'm thinking that you're Japanese. And the Phoenix Suns, they have a great Japanese player on the team, Watanabe Yuta. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons why you like him, or why like the team. And if you do like Watanabe Yuta, I was really lucky this summer. I got a chance to meet Watanabe Yuta and do a basketball clinic with him. We did a basketball practice, a camp in Tokyo. I did it with the NBA and Watanabe Yuta. He was really nice guy. YFS. Yeah, don't worry. I know you are not high. I know you're not doing drugs. So don't worry. I can tell that, in Japan, it's used a lot, that word. But yeah, hyper, energetic, excited, bouncing off the walls, you can say. Yeah, your sentence is good. Even though I have been in Disneyland for 8 hours, I'm still hyper. We are still hyper. Dio, your Suns beat my Lakers yesterday. Very good game from the Suns, and without most of their players. But this is not a basketball channel. This is English. So I have a question for everyone. We've been making a lot of sentences using even if and even though. Even if is saying that if a condition happens, I don't care, I will still do an action. Even though is showing the contrast of two ideas. Now, remember, sometimes both are possible. Sometimes both are possible. Both are possible when one is in the future and one is now. All right, so they are both possible, but the meaning will be different. So be very careful with that. Now, remember here, number 6 and 7, I've got 2 more situations. So if you'd like to do even though, if you'd like to practice more, make 2 more sentences and put them in the comment section for homework. So we've got dessert and full. We've got roller coaster and scared. All right, there's 2 more sentences you can make. You can put it in to the comment section. XYZ, yes. Dewey is on the Lakers. Yes, Dewey is on the Lakers. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, living in Japan, having, you know, a Japanese person on my favorite team, the Lakers. It's amazing. It's great. It's really great. And he is such a good player. Watanabe Yuta is a really good player too. I haven't had the chance to meet Dewey, unfortunately. Hopefully someday in the future. I got to watch him play in Saitama, but I haven't met him yet. But yes, Dewey is on the Lakers. Go Lakers. Go Suns for you. Because I lived in Arizona when I was kids, Suns was my home team. That makes sense. That makes sense. You lived in Arizona when you were a kid. Nice. Arizona, great state. Very, very hot state. Great state, though. Very, very beautiful. I was lucky to drive through Arizona a couple of times, and it was so beautiful. If anybody who's watching now or watching on the replay, if you ever get a chance to drive in Arizona, definitely do so. The red mountains they have. Their mountains are very red. It's red clay. It's so beautiful. So yeah, Dio, you must be excited. Your team is looking very strong this year. Okay, so we're gonna end it there. And if you, well, before I sign off, if you guys have any final questions, please ask me now. Shoot them into the comment section. And if there are no more questions right now, remember, you can always ask after, during the replay. I will always answer. So regarding even if, even though, or if you have a different English question, that is fine, or a cultural question about Canada or America, you please feel free to ask. And remember, we do have some homework here. If you'd like to do the homework, leave it in the comment section. We've got 2 situations for even though. And if we scroll back up, we've got 2 more situations with even if. So that's extra that you can do for homework. And if anybody wants a copy of this lesson, just let me know and I can get that to you somehow. Okay, it looks like we don't have any questions right now, so this is a good time to end the lesson. It was a really productive morning. Thank you for everyone who commented. You know, Dio, XYZ, YFS, thanks for being very active. Kaz as well, thank you. Fusa as well, great job. If you didn't comment, don't worry. Thanks for joining me. I know there were some people who joined but didn't comment. That's fine. Don't worry. Sometimes it's also good to just listen and try to understand it all. Sophia, thank you to you as well. So, YFS, I watched your listening video for Halloween. Did you decide what you're going to be for this year? From Monster High. Yeah, thank you. First, thank you for watching the Halloween video. Yeah, you know, the listening video, I did a listening video all about Halloween, how I used to spend my Halloween as a kid in Canada. And I think I've decided, and I'm not gonna, it's not from Monster High, but I will be a monster. But, and I will be taking a photo. I might do a video with that costume. I will definitely show you YFS in one of the videos. I have decided it's going to be a monster, not a monster from Monster High, just a monster, but I'll pretend I'm in Monster High. Thank you for watching the Halloween video. If anybody hasn't seen my Halloween listening video, it's an advanced listening lesson all about my time as a child in Canada experiencing Halloween. There's 6 comprehension questions to test your listening as well, so make sure you do that. XYZ, thank you very much. No, thank you as well, XYZ. Thank you for joining me this morning. And Dio, thank you so much as well. Thank you very much for joining, Dio. And as well, anybody who's watching right now on the replay, I will be doing another live lesson tomorrow. So I'm trying to do one every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. Tomorrow's will be a little bit later. It'll be about 90 minutes later than today. So today I started at 7 a.m. Japan time. Tomorrow I will be starting at 8:30 a.m. Japan time. So if you're up, if you're awake, join me tomorrow as well. XYZ, I liked the video. So you watched the Halloween video also. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do have another Halloween video coming out as well. It's more vocabulary, and I've got some great video of Canada. I was in a Halloween store in Canada, and I'm going to be putting that in a video for everyone to see. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to everyone who's watching on the replay right now. Remember, leave your comments in the comments section. Yeah, thank you, Eves. I love the emojis. You got zombie, Dracula, and Tengu. You've got a Tengu in there, which is a Japanese kind of what is it? Is he a devil? He's kind of like a prankster spirit called Tengu, lives in the mountains, I believe. Thank you, YFS. Okay, again, yeah, subscribe, comment, like, and hit the notification bell. Until the next time, guys, I will see you in the next class. See ya.